Next article we're going to talk about is an article, recent one from Search Engine Journal. And the name of the article is the AI Slop Loop. And I thought this was great because unfortunately we're in an era now in search, AI search, that AI search and search using the LLMs to search, it's a newer phenomena. But it's also one that unfortunately is very easily gamed. And it reminds me of the early days of SEO. The early days of SEO, when we're talking, go back 2002, 2003, it was very easy to rank, almost it seemed like overnight back then, using, various, at the time was best practice, which we all know are kind of black hat type SEO tactics, which none of us white hat folks, engage in. And I feel like AI search is very similar. And, in that it's unfortunately, it's easy to game the system. And so this article kind of talks about how, that some basically non-authoritative type sources were generated and then quickly shown as authority sources and cited in AI search. And so I thought it was fascinating, but I'm also not surprised. Our perspective at Brick Marketing is to take a marketing approach to AI search and AI SEO and generative engine optimization and follow everything by the book as best practice stands right now. And as it changes, you evolve with it. So I think that this was just an interesting article, the AI Slop Loop. I just thought it was interesting. It was an interesting read. So Catherine, John, what do the two of you think on that?
Agreed. What I took away from the article is something that I've witnessed and experienced firsthand. It's that AI can hallucinate. We always say that you have to know what you're doing if you're going to use AI for anything, because you have to be able to look at it and kind of like catch it before things get out of hand. I was even just researching something today. This was just off work time. I was researching something about the New England Patriots, and it was trying to correct me, saying that Mike Vrabel was not the coach of the Patriots. It was arguing with me, saying that he was the coach of the Titans. Okay, that's an example of what can happen. It just goes on flights of fancy. Right. But can you imagine if it mattered, like really mattered? I was just, chit-chatting with it about something related to a sports team. But if you're in a situation where it matters...
Yeah. What AI platform were you using where it drifted that bad?
I was using ChatGPT for that.
Using Chat, huh? Wow.
And I have chit-chatted with ChatGPT before about the New England Patriots, and it at the time knew who the coach was. So
interesting. Very interesting.
Never know.
It's crazy. John, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I think that we're running into the issue where so much on the internet is AI generated, like text. Like we know that right now, ChatGPT and the LLMs take a lot from Reddit. It sees it as like an authority, right? And if you go on Reddit, so much of it is AI generated. It's all spam in like comment sections or main posts. They're all spam. So what's happening is you have the AIs generating the content on Reddit, which it's using and then spinning itself, and then it's just a feedback loop, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Interesting.
I agree. And I think as time goes on, I'm pretty certain of it, that a lot of these sources that are cited by the LLMs are going to shift. So right now, Reddit is I think, John, you and I were talking about that too. Like Reddit is you need to do well in Reddit right now to be, to show up competitively in the LLMs. The reality is, that's no different than, article sites, spinning sites in the early 2000s for SEO, literally. Yeah. The difference is it's a trusted site, but, does every business need a Reddit profile and a Reddit account? No, they certainly don't. It doesn't make sense for a lot of businesses. So anyway, so that was an interesting read.